Barry Freeman focuses on all aspects of bank and asset-based lending as a member of his firm's corporate and bankruptcy and financial reorganization group. He's been elected as a fellow of the American College of Commercial Finance Lawyers and is a member of the California and Montana state bars. Let's meet Barry Freeman. Hello, Barry, and
Hello,
thanks for coming in.
My pleasure,
Please
sir.
sit down. So tell me, Barry, how did you get into the law profession?
Primarily by default. It was, my dad was a storefront lawyer. I had no idea what I was going to do. I was a hod carrier and a laborer in high school, college, and then was going to go to work for my uncle in construction, and he said, why don't you go to law school first, and then we can come back, and that's what I did. And I got into it. I really enjoyed it for a lot of years.
Well, good. So you find your work rewarding, I assume.
I do. It's challenging. The law has the ability to reflect your ability to modify, change, and certainly be creative. It gives you that opportunity. Not many practices or endeavors do.
Well, what exactly does your practice consist of?
Mine is basically money in, money out. And under what terms and conditions, what type of collateral, what kind of earning, ROI, return on investment, loan values, how does a lender, which it can be anybody, you can imagine yourself in that position, you're going to put money out, how do I get it back, and what are you going to pay for rent, and how much, and the risk determines the rent. And I spent a lot of time in the dirt, agribusiness as well, which it's another type of business that I do lending work in.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you about that kind of subsection of your business, the agribusiness finance. What do you find interesting about agribusiness?
People who deal in the dirt respect the earth, and that's a different cut. They acknowledge that it has to survive, and that's primary for any one of them, and for me. And so the people, the businesses, even though the family farm may not be the run-of-the-mill and mega business is taken over, there's still a respect for the earth that I respect and enjoy.
Well, I think by many, if not most definitions, California is the top agricultural state in the country. Do you find, I know at one point, of course, Los Angeles County was a huge agricultural county, as every county that had an economy in the state. It was usually based on agriculture. Are your clients, any of them still around Southern California, or where do your clients come from on the agribusiness side of things?
Mostly between the San Joaquin, the valley. The valley is the real valley, the San Joaquin Valley. There's some activity in Coachella. There's dates. Some Orange County, that's why it's called Orange County. It's not that much
Sure.
Orange County anymore. But most of the breadbasket of the country runs between Bakersfield and the northern border.
Well, you mentioned your subspecialty, agribusiness finance. Tell me, what do you find interesting about agribusiness? And tell us a little bit about, we know what agribusiness is, but what's agribusiness finance?
A grower, a packer, a distributor has to obtain funds in order to buy their raw materials, run the factory, and the dirt is the factory. So they go to a lender, whether it's a bank, an insurance company, farm credit, and they borrow money like any other business. They have to pay it back. The lender has to get collateral. The collateral besides the dirt is the product. The product is the fruit, the animals. It could be a dairy, it could be milk, it could be a co-op, whatever. But basically it is financing the operation of somebody dealing in the sale of food.
Well, what a crucial section that you are involved in, because of course, first of all, we all have to eat, so really no matter where we're from, it's absolutely essential, it's crucial that this financing is and the economics of agribusiness is allowed to continue, but particularly in this state, because if I'm not wrong, I think from everything I've read, California is without question the #1 agricultural state. Is that not correct?
California feeds the nation.
It does.
And the drought is heavy. I mean, the aquifers from which the wells are drawing water, they're down. I mean, they're hopefully going to be replaced a little bit this year, but the cost of water is like the cost of a utility. Without the water, nothing's going to happen.
So you're helping to facilitate these agribusiness transactions. Both, I assume sometimes you're working with the bank to to provide the framework for this financing to occur. Other times you're working to make sure that the funds are collected that the agricultural business owes. Is that correct?
Both. You do it from the bank's point of view. It's collecting the loan, getting the money out, and getting the money back. And I also represent borrowers or intermediaries or people who are brokers. And their object is to get the money out. They want to make a profit. The bank wants to make a profit. And obviously the grower, the owner of the dirt, wants to make a profit.
So agribusiness, financing is a subsection of your practice. What are some of the other important aspects of your practice?
Commercial real estate, commercial loans, account receivable financing, inventory financing, term loans, revolving loans, syndicated credits, these are all credits of which a bank may come up with, several banks making a loan. There's one lead, they're participants. You deal with the bank's internecine relationship with each other, and then let alone a lead bank will have a relationship with the borrower, usually just one. And then the law firm that is representing the lead will deal with the borrower, and the lawyers for the line banks will deal with each other, and hopefully that all works well. Not always. And if it doesn't, there are disputes within the bank, let alone with the borrower.
Well, why should potential clients come to you?
Well, there are a lot of lawyers in town, and a lot of good lawyers in town. I'm well-heeled. I've done this for a long time. And generally, I care about what's going on and care about the client. But I do expect loyalty to be a two-way street, and that the client also displays some loyalty to the firm it hires, whether it's me or somebody else.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because it really does. If one side is loyal to the other, but it's not reciprocated, you're really not going to thrive in the same way. So either side. So good. Glad you pointed that out. Well, thank you very much, Barry Freeman. Great having you here today, and really
pleasure.
Have an interesting and crucial segment of business, in particular the agribusiness. Again, I know you're involved with many aspects of business and financing, but that agribusiness is just so crucial. You help keep it going, so we should all appreciate that.
The dirt is special. It's got to be protected.
You're right. Thank you, Barry.
Sure. Thank you.